Yeah, we're gonna be riding at night today. Woo! And it's motovlog time here on Riding with Esty. Hello, fellow riders. I hope you are all doing fantastic. It is fall here in Massachusetts, and the riding weather right now is at its absolute best in this area of the country. I just wish it was like this all year round up here. I would ride every single day. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Massachusetts gets disgustingly cold pretty soon after this time period here. But whatever, what can you do, right? You just ride, and in the cold I'm just gonna have to get some thermal gear because I want to ride. So yeah, that brings me to my topic of this vlog, and that is riding. Very general, I know, but I was specifically thinking about doing a vlog about those individuals, those maybe among you watching, that are not riding just yet but are contemplating whether or not to start riding and get themselves on a motorcycle. Of course, this wouldn't be an SD vlog without a top 5 in there. So in this vlog today, I want to share with you my top 5 tips on getting into the world of motorcycling. Before I do that, let's kind of talk a little bit about those fears that a lot of guys kind of have when it comes to the world of riding. So one of the fears that I hear a lot from people who are interested in riding but end up just never doing it. SD, I can't ride a motorcycle. People out there, they drive terrible. They're gonna kill me if I'm out there. You can't control how other people drive. And to those of you who say that, let me just start off by saying, you're right. You can't control how other people drive. There is the possibility out there, the chance of getting killed. And that's just how it is. That's life. I'm sorry to tell you. But let me share a fact with you guys. There is a pretty overwhelming percentage of motorcycle accidents. The percentage of those accidents that happen due to the fault of some other car is a lot less, and I mean a lot less, due to the fault of some rider. So what I'm trying to say is more than half, and I would say probably about 80% of motorcycle accidents happen because of the rider. Am I saying that all riders suck? No. I am a rider and I love all riders, regardless of how douchey they ride. All I'm saying is you can be afraid of other drivers, but at the end of the day, if you can ride and ride smart and ride safe, I can guarantee you that possibility of some asshole driver hitting you is a lot less than you think it is. Another fear that I hear a lot about is, hey, Esty, like, oh, but motorcycles aren't cheap. I'm not gonna be able to afford that. And yes, motorcycles aren't free, but you can get a motorcycle for $1,000 if you really wanted to. If you want to get into the world of riding, you want to get your feet wet, there's no need to spend a lot of money. But if you do your research and you buy a motorcycle that has cheap insurance, then hey, you're doing yourself a favor there too, right? So, you know, you should know right off the bat that sport motorcycles are going to be a lot more expensive in the long run than cruisers, because sport motorcycles tend to have much higher insurance rates. Once you get over your fears and your doubts and all that stuff, here's my top 5 tips. Tip number 1, just take the MSF course. Just take it. Just take the freaking course. Trust me, it helps. It really does. I took the course and I learned a lot. I can comfortably say that I understand how to ride a motorcycle because of that course. But Esty, I grew up riding dirt bikes. I could ride a motorcycle. I don't need to take no course. Just take the course. Just take the course. Take it. There's lots of knowledge about street legal things too that you kind of need to know when riding a motorcycle. My MSF course experience was phenomenal. I had a blast. It was very easy, and I still remember a lot from that class. So just trust me when I tell you, just take the course. All right, tip number 2. Here's my tip number 2. If you've never ridden a motorcycle before and you're ready to do it. You're ready to get into the world of riding. You're deciding on a bike. You keep hearing that you shouldn't get a 250 because the 250 you're gonna outgrow and you're gonna be tired of it being slow and hefty. I can't get a 250. That thing can't go any faster than 50 miles an hour. I'm gonna outgrow that thing in like a week. I'm gonna want to trade it in. You know what? That's the point. You get a 250, you get a 300, you get a 400 or a 500. You learn how to ride. You don't go out there killing yourself, and then you trade it in. That's what it's for. That's what you do. Listen, I started on a 250. I do not regret it at all. The 250 that I own, the Cleveland Cycle Works Heist, I dropped it twice. The first time I dropped it was in the rain. It was my first time riding in the rain. I didn't think about water being slippery. Hey, look at that, huh? Not thinking about, hey, you know, I might have to turn a little slower when the road is wet. And I fell my ass. If I would have been on a Harley, I would have dropped a $10,000 Harley as opposed to a $3,000 250 Cleveland Cycle Works motorcycle. See what I'm saying? Please buy a 250 to 500 depending on your size and weight with the intention of, yes, outgrowing it. That's what you want. And on top of that, it is funner that way. You don't have to worry about being scared riding a big fast bike. You know, you're basically going to be nervous every time you get on that bike. And I get it if you're like a really big guy or girl, like a 650. I understand. Like the SV 650 is kind of iconic for really big people to start on, and I get that. I had a blast on my Cleveland Cycle Works Heist, and people love that thing. People absolutely love that thing. So think about it. If you're worried about looks, the Honda Rebel 300, 500, that thing looks badass. I also did a review on that bike too, if you guys want to check it out if you haven't done so already. So yeah, tip number 2, buy a beginner bike with the intention of outgrowing it and just learn how to ride. That's it. I hate these potholes. So tip number 3, think about your gear. All right, and by gear I mean the gear that you're wearing. Well, first of all, if you're in a state that it's illegal to not wear a helmet, then I don't just recommend it. Just get the freaking helmet, be legal. But if you're in a state where it's not illegal to not wear a helmet, then I still recommend, at least when you're starting, wear the helmet. You're gonna fall, trust me. That's one piece of gear I highly recommend. Gloves, wear gloves. If you're gonna fall and you're gonna kind of use your hands to support the fall a little bit and kind of stop the fall a little bit, you're gonna scrape your hands on that asphalt and it is gonna suck. And you don't even have to go out there and get yourself a $300, you know, riding jacket with like armor and stuff in it. And you don't have to go out there and get yourself crazy expensive gloves. I highly recommend, if you're looking for saving money, gloves for mechanics will do the job. And you can get mechanic gloves for in the $10 or even less range. And then outside of that, I also highly recommend, for the bare minimum for new riders, is try not to let any skin be unprotected. So wear a long sleeve, thicker jacket, or you know, type of sweater or hoodie of some sort, and always wear long pants, jeans, closed-toed shoes or boots. Seeing some guy on a freaking Hayabusa with shorts and sandals, you know, I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm not even gonna say anything. If you're a new rider and you're starting your riding journey, please at least do these bare minimums. Once you learn how to ride, do whatever the hell you want. You can squid as squiddy as you want to get. Have at it, because this is America and you've earned your freedom. All right, that's my tip number 3. Helmet, gloves, no uncovered skin. And then I'm also gonna add, like, if you're gonna ride at night a lot, I highly recommend some sort of reflective piece of gear. Tip number 4, this one kind of varies depending on where you live. If you live in California, Florida, Texas, you should listen to this one right here. Get yourself multiple deterrents for thieves, motorcycle thieves. And I'm sure you guys have heard this all the time. At the end of the day, if someone wants to steal your bike, they're gonna be able to steal your bike. Your job as the owner of that bike is gonna be to make it as hard as possible for that guy or girl to steal your bike. So on this Harley that I'm riding right now, I have I think it's a 9100, 9000 Gorilla alarm security system with a key fob that I arm it and disarm it with, and it also beeps when anyone gets near the bike or touches the bike, and has 7 levels of sensitivity. Something as simple as putting a cover on your bike that the thief can't even see what they're trying to steal. They're probably not going to steal it, right? A cheap disc brake lock. I also have an alarm on the disc brake lock. I also bought a super thick chain with a really fat master lock if I wanted to tie my bike up somewhere. I don't use that one a lot. I use that if I know I'm going somewhere that's really bad. I'll turn on my alarm. I'll put like 4 or 5 different deterrents on there for security. So yeah, motorcycle security is pretty important. Hey, and if you don't believe me, look at Chase on 2 wheels, losing multiple motorcycles. Look at the other guy, the Kleb. The Kleb got his bike stolen. When I had my heist, I thought it was stolen once. It turns out it was just towed. I looked everywhere for that thing, and it was just in a towing lot in some random town somewhere, and I went 17 days looking for that bike to the point where I thought it was stolen, and there was a hole in my heart, let me tell you. When you start riding, there's nothing worse than that feeling of getting your bike stolen. More so than a car, I think. Like there's like a more of an emotional attachment to a motorcycle. Just the freedom and stress releasing, you know, medicine that is a motorcycle. When that thing gets ripped away from you without your consent, it is heartbreaking. And then there's just this anger towards, you know, how can people like that exist? And I'm not even gonna get into that. Just tip number 4, get yourself some motorcycle security, as many deterrents as possible to prevent you from ever feeling that. And then my last tip number 5, for all you who want to get into motorcycle riding, is going to be using some sort of a GPS, some sort of technology that if anything happens to you when you're riding, someone knows where you are, where to find you, and how to help you. You never know, guys. Oh, freaking potholes! You never know, guys, what can happen to you out there on a motorcycle, but you can never be too prepared. Something simple. I do have a GPS mounted on this motorcycle, and I have given some friends that I trust the most, of course, the ability to track it. And it also, hey, that also helps with theft, actually. If someone steals your bike, you can see where they're going with it. But I have given some friends the ability to track it. If anything ever happened to me, they'd know where to find me, or at least know where to find the bike. Another thing you can do is get yourself a comm system, a Sena or something. That will allow you to talk on the phone with whoever while you're riding. Oh, here we go again. But anything can happen to you guys. Anything can happen to you guys. And I know that we all fall, but not every fall is going to be very easy to get up from. I'm not going to say any names, but Jammy noob. Oh, sorry. It's like some sort of like dust in the wind or something. Just be very careful out there, and have some sort of way that people can easily find you if something happens to you. And those are my absolute, in my opinion, top 5 most important things to get into the world of riding. For this video, I'd love to see some comments on what you think, for those of you who are riding, and even those of you who are not, just in your opinion, what you think are some other really important things to think about. Let's make this a page for those who really want to, you know, join the community of riding, which is an awesome community to be a part of. You meet some amazing people. Let's make this a page for those of you who want to get into that community to not just hear from me, but from all the people watching these videos. There's a lot of experienced riders out there. What tips do you have? Let's see it in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys have to say. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I just want you guys to know I am having an absolute blast with this channel, and it is so much funner than I thought it would be to just get out there on my motorcycle and make videos for you guys. I am currently working on multiple videos right now, so I am kind of ahead, which is really cool. And I have some mods coming up. I have some adventures stored for you guys. I want to go visit some other riding scenes and areas So please stay tuned for that. I also have some new updated merch. I was able to find some cheaper t-shirts for you guys to check out. I got the link down there in the description. And there's also some other stuff there too, like cell phone cases and pillows and even some stickers for $2. So pretty cool stuff. If you guys want to check that out, I'll have that link down there. And now my bike is here, and so I ride into the distance. I'll ride for a whole frickin' year. I'll ride so far, I'll find some bitches, and yes, I ride that hard, and may I say, I'm not sorry, and yes, that's how I ride. I ride a Harley. A little Sinatra for you guys. As always, thanks for watching. It's time for me to eat. Of course, I only eat the finest of foods, Taco Bell, and today I'm craving some Wendy's. What do you think? I'll catch you on the next video, everyone.